It is impossible to imagine how many unusual creatures live in the vast expanses of the ocean. Even people who have always lived far from the sea have probably heard about sharks, whales, or dolphins. But there's so much more that we don't know. And what if I told you that not only animals are hiding at the bottom of the ocean, you might even find some interesting facts about yourself. So today we'll show you 7 scary ocean facts that you didn't know. 7. Deep sea light. Are you one of those people who can't fall asleep without light? Some would say it's no big deal. Just turn on your bedside lamp. But let me ask you this. Do you think you could sleep with a huge glowing jellyfish right next to your bed? Well, it turns out that such luminous creatures really exist in nature. They're called Aprea dubia. They can be found in the waters of Australia and New Zealand. This is a type of stardrop jellyfish. It has a large transparent dome with numerous stinging cells. These jellyfish are usually white, but they can also glow blue, pink, purple, red, green, yellow, and orange. The luminosity is explained by the reaction of these creatures to external stimuli. If they get scared or feel threatened, they immediately start to glow. Scientists have assumed that deep-sea dwellers see the glow of these jellyfish as a signal of danger and move away from them. Prey dutifully follows this rule. However, it doesn't shy away from prey either. Therefore, this feature helps the jellyfish hunt. And what's most surprising is that these jellyfish can emit light for several hours, then they need to rest and recover their strength. 6. A ghostly white whale. Have you ever seen a whale in real life? In fact, there are so many of them in the ocean that you can easily meet an enormous mammal during a swim or a dive. And not only that, there's one species of whale whose skin is completely white. Nobody knows exactly why this happens, but scientists believe that it's all about genetics. An albino mutation causes albinism, which means that the skin, hair, and eyes lose their pigmentation. Usually, this phenomenon occurs in terrestrial mammals, but marine mammals are no exception. For example, a rare white humpback whale named Migaloo was first spotted off the coast of Australia in 1984. Since then, it's been swimming along the eastern coast of Australia every year. Scientists believe that the whale was born with albinism and is estimated to be about 50 years old. Also, there are very few photos of this creature, and there are even fewer videos. Despite its rarity, the whale has become a kind of celebrity. There are even rumors that Aboriginal legends speak of the white whale and consider it a sacred animal. 5. Mysterious underwater pyramids. There are many pyramids around the world, but most of them are located in Egypt. Archaeologists still haven't fully figured out how the Egyptians were able to build these giant structures. But sometimes scientists come across underwater pyramids that leave them just as confused. For example, Yonaguni Monument is an underwater rock formation off the coast of Yonaguni Island in Japan. This structure looks like a huge artificial pyramid. It has a flat top and sides that are smoothed like they were carved with a tool. Scientists believe that this may be the result of natural erosion of the rocks. However, there are many theories suggesting that the monument was built by ancient people. According to one version, the monument was created by the same people who built the Egyptian pyramids. There are even assumptions that the underwater pyramid was part of a huge continent that sank into the ocean, but that's just speculation. 4. When tears can be fatal. Every day people die from jellyfish stings, and it often happens because of the carelessness of humans themselves. People come into contact with dangerous creatures simply because they look beautiful. Jellyfish are extremely common in the oceans and seas of the world. In total, there are over 2,000 species of these creatures. Not all of them pose a threat to humans. Jellyfish have stinging cells that they use to hunt. Most often these cells go off accidentally when the jellyfish feels threatened. Jellyfish venom is made up of thousands of different compounds. Each of them acts on the body in its own way. Someone experiences pain and redness at the sight of the bite, while others suffer paralysis and go into shock. There are even fatal cases. For example, in 2006, a woman died after being stung by a Portuguese warship. She had no chance because she was allergic to the poison. Although this species isn't considered the most venomous, the pain was so unbearable that the woman had a heart attack. Another reason for death is the reaction of the human body to ultraviolet radiation. We're talking about sunlight. The most common symptom is severe blistering of the skin. This happens because the sun's rays penetrate the skin deeper than usual and cause third-degree burns. That's why you shouldn't be in the sun for too long after being bitten by a jellyfish. And certainly don't forget to protect yourself with sunscreen. 3. Lurking below the Titanic. Back in 1911, the Titanic set sail from England to America. It was one of the largest ships of its time. But despite its size, the Titanic sank in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Now its wreckage lies at a depth of 3,800 meters. Divers don't dare to go down there because the temperature is only 1 degree Celsius and you can't stay in such conditions for long. So divers can only observe the remains of the Titanic through the eyes of robots. Scientists know that the wreck is home to many microorganisms, bacteria, and even worms. There's even a whole ecosystem at the bottom of the ocean where thousands of animals live. Among them, scientists have found a 6-legged spider crab. It got its name because of its peculiar legs. It has 6 pairs of limbs. Normally, crabs have 8 legs. By the way, these crustaceans aren't afraid of pressure or darkness. They can even withstand low temperatures. There are even fish that live near hydrothermal vents. It's hard to believe, but anglerfish really live in the complete darkness of the ocean depths, and they don't need light at all. They can only be found near volcanoes, deep-sea vents, and places rich in chemicals. 2. Unusual eyes. In April of 2021, a photo appeared on the net that shocked everyone. The picture shows a fisherman holding a strange fish in his hands. Its appearance was shocking. The thing is that the fish had no eyes. It seems that someone simply took them out, but that's not the case. In fact, there are several species of fish that don't have eyes. They simply evolved over time and lost their unneeded body parts. Such creatures can be found in the waters of Mexico, Indonesia, and Japan. There's even a cave-dwelling fish known as the Mexican tetra. It has no eyes, scales, or pigment. But most importantly, this fish doesn't need to see anything. After all, it lives in complete darkness. The fish gets by with the help of other senses: hearing, smell, and touch. For example, it feels vibrations in the water thanks to its swim bladder. It also has sensitive barbels on its head that pick up chemical signals from potential prey. Interestingly, this fish has fins that allow it to move quite quickly. However, it spends most of its time looking for food. And although the fish has no eyes, it's still able to distinguish light from darkness. And when it finds food, it eats it with great pleasure. 1. City under the sea. There are many legends about sunken cities, but archaeologists still haven't been able to find any evidence of them. In 2008, a team of French researchers discovered something amazing. They found the ruins of a medieval city. It's located in the English Channel at a depth of 10 meters. It's believed that the settlement was abandoned about 800 years ago. At that time, the sea level rose, causing the city to flood. The researchers found traces of houses, streets, wells, and other structures. It's true that these buildings are in terrible condition, but they're definitely man-made. Researchers believe that the settlement may have been inhabited by monks. Maybe they lived here, or maybe they hid from the war. In any case, experts plan to continue exploring the city and learn more about its history. Now you know that the ocean is full of mysteries and you can't trust everything you see. Do you believe in underwater pyramids? Have you seen a white whale in real life? Share your thoughts in the comments. And that's all for today. Like the video, and see you soon. Bye.